So check it out, guys. The question asks us to substitute the values in place of the variables. And we got to know what these two words mean. Substitute means you got to switch something around. You're like a substitute teacher. You got to switch your regular teacher with somebody else. So here we got to switch some stuff around as well. And we have to switch the values. See, another word for substitute is switch. You can just write that in just to remember. In place of the variables. And the variables are the letters. Any letters that you see on this page are variables because their value varies. It's not always the same. It changes. So any letter, here's a letter, here's a variable, here's a variable, here's a variable, and here's a variable. Here we have two variables. We have a y and an x. So now we have to do some substitution. Let's do it. It says x plus 5, and then it says x equals 3. So what we will do is we will rewrite this expression, but we won't write x. We will write the value of x, which is 3. So we will write 3 plus 5. And then we'll just write the answer, which is 8. That is the answer. How about this one here? Mr. Melham, there are some addition, but what's going on over here? What is happening here? 2y, what does that mean? Remember, if there's no symbol between the two values, we are always multiplying them. So what we will do is we will rewrite this as 2, and then we will put the value of y beside it, which is, it says y is 3. So we will write 3. But if you just leave it like that, it looks like 23. We have to multiply them. So we will put one of these in brackets to indicate multiplication. And then we will put plus 5. Now, it may be tempting to add 3 and 5 to get 8 and then multiply that by 2, but that is incorrect because BEDMAS says multiply before you add. So we have to multiply to get 6 and then put plus 5, and that makes, of course, makes 11. Here we have something more involved. We have brackets. So we will write the 3. We will rewrite everything, but we won't write x. We will write the value of x, which is -2. And we will put -2 in brackets. And we will write -7. And then we will write plus 4. I have written it exactly the same as this last expression, except I have substituted the value. BEDMAS says do brackets first. So we will do -2 minus 7 is -9. And then we will write the 3 on the outside. See how I'm doing this very organized? You got to be doing this in an organized fashion. It's not neat. That's just my writing. But it's organized. And then I will write plus 4. And then I will do this part. BEDMAS says multiply before you add. So we will multiply to get -27. That's -27 plus 4. And that makes -23. Moving on. Here we have x equals -3 and y equals +2. We will substitute them in place of each variable. So let's write 2. Now by now you should be getting the hang of this and saying to yourself, 2x means 2 times the value of x, which is -3. We must put brackets to indicate multiplication. And then we will write -4. And again in brackets. We will write the value of y, which is 2. If I didn't put the brackets, it would look like 42. By putting the brackets, it indicates we have to multiply. So now, BEDMAS says that you must multiply, and look at this. We have 2 multiplication parts to this. So we will multiply them both. This makes -6 and this makes 8, and the minus goes in between them. And -6 minus 8 is -14. Here we have an equation asking us, well, telling us first that the perimeter of a rectangle is P equals 2L. We'll see what these letters stand for, plus 2W. Find the perimeter of a rectangle whose length L, so length is L, is 10 centimeters. Let's keep this information organized. We'll write L is 10 centimeters, and you do the same as well. You write it down. And width is 5 centimeters. So we'll write W equals 5 centimeters. And it says find the perimeter. Guess what we've got to do? We've got to do some substitution, baby. We got to go in here and substitute these letters and switch them with numbers. So we'll go P equals 2 L is worth 10. So we'll write 10 centimeters. By now you should be comfortable putting brackets around the numbers. Plus 2 times W. W is 5 centimeters. BEDMAS says if you have multiplication, which we do, we have 2 of them, and you have addition, you have to do multiplication first and do them all. So we'll do 2 times 10. What's 2 times 10? 20 centimeters. And then we will do, so that's 20 centimeters. And this one here is 10 centimeters. And the plus sign goes in between. Now 20 plus 10 is 30 centimeters. Now let's carry all this down. Equals P. P equals. Perimeter is equal to 30 centimeters. And I did it with substitution. We're going to mix a little review of the last lesson. And we're going to combine it with substitution. It says write an expression and then substitute the value -3 for the value of the variable. 3 less than triple a number. How do you write 3 less than triple a number? Well, here's triple a number, 3x. X is a number, some mystery number, and 3x means tripling the number, timesing it by 3. If that doesn't make sense, go back and watch those videos and refresh your memory. 3 less than this would be 3x minus 3. Not 3 minus 3x. That would be wrong. But we have to go 3 less than this. Now we have to substitute. So we will write our 3, but instead of x, we will write -3 in brackets. We are multiplying these. Now, multiplying these here says that the answer is -9. -3, what does that make? -12? Did I hear -12? If you said -12, give yourself a check mark. 1/3 of double a number. 1/3 of double a number. 1/3 of what? Double a number. Here's double a number. Let's not use X. Let's use Z. Get creative. Double a number is 2 times a mystery number, which we'll call Z. That's doubling it. 1/3 of it means dividing it by 3. Now look, the value says that it states that the variable is -3. So guess what we're going to do? We are going to substitute. We are going to write 2. But we won't write Z. Z. We're going to write -3. And then we are going to go divide by 3. Look at the top. Multiply them. You get -6 divided by 3. What's -6 divided by 3? You got this. -2. The answer.